Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Total QA. In our channel, we posted multiple videos and categorized into different playlists. And recently, we started WebDriver tutorial where you have all the information about Java topics from day one. So please refer to this playlist. You will find the information about Java, Selenium, and all the topics started from the scratch. Now, in today's topic, we are going to discuss about usage of Zephyr plugin. But before getting into this topic, we already covered part 1. In the part 1, we covered about Jira introduction and configuration, cloud. How are we going to create an account in cloud? How do we create a sprint? How do we create an epic? How do we create a story? And also we have seen how do we create subtask. So all these topics are covered, and also the notes for this is also added in the description of the video. So kindly go through all this information and get the required knowledge before we get into the usage of Jira plugin, which is in part 2. So in today's video, we are going to discuss mainly on Zephyr plugin only, because this plugin we have seen last class. We have downloaded this plugin, but now we are going to see how are we going to use this plugin right now to create a test case, create test cycle, adding the test to the test cycle, how are we going to execute the test cases, and also we raise defects if the test cases are getting failed, and also we add we try to generate reports for traceability matrix like forward traceability, backward traceability, and how are we going to import the test cases from XLS and XLSX, and also the integration part where we can integrate our REST API, Cucumber, and all the Selenium test cases as well to the Jira right now using this Zephyr plugin. So let's start now. Let's get into the topic now, creating a test case. Let me open Jira now. So this is my Jira account. I logged in already, because whenever you try to create an account, you get a link, because this Jira account is created in cloud. It doesn't require any software to be installed as part of the laptop. You can just try to access this link. Now I created multiple projects. I created e-commerce project, which is part of the video 1 I created. I just access the same thing to continue further. So in this project, this is a classic software project. We created e-commerce project here. This is mainly for Scrum, right? So in this project, we already downloaded Zephyr as a plugin. How to download the plugin now? If you wanted to download the Zephyr as a plugin, you just need to access apps. Just find new apps, look out for Zephyr, and try to install Zephyr as part of this project. Now Zephyr plugin is available, right? So now we are interested to create a test case. Now let's click on create button now to create a test case. When I click on create button, I just verified what are all the different issue types available. We have a story, we have a task, we have a bug, we have an epic. But there is no option available for us to select and create a test case. So the very important point we have to focus here is the test, which is a issue type, is not visible automatically. We have to access settings and enable the test as an issue type to see this option in the creation of the issue. So what we have to do for that, we have to start accessing settings. Here you find settings here, click on it. Let me click on it. So once you click on it, you will find options, different options are available. Just highlight and see for issues. This is the one which we are interested. Let me click on issues, configure your issue types, workflows, screens, custom fields, and more. Let me click on these issues now. Then you will find different issue type schemas here. Just click on issue type schemas. Under issue type schemas, our project is easy. It's an e-commerce project. For this e-commerce project, we have to click on edit, because the project name is e-commerce here. We just click on edit here. Click on edit to see what are all the issue types which are available. The issue types which are available for the current schema is only task, subtask, story, bug, Epic. So what we can do is we can even associate the test as a one of the issue type as part of the current schema. Then click on save. So this is very important. Before we proceed further, we have to make sure that we have to select, we have to drag this option from the available issue types and keep it in the current schema. And also the default issue type is story, right? So click on save. So once you click on save, click on create. So select issue types, you will find test here. Yes. Then right now we are going to create a test case. Before we go and create a test case, let's understand what are all the stories right now which are available as part of this project, right? So let's go to the backlog now. How do we go to the backlog? We just need to go to projects, select our project, then access the backlog. Let me close the browser. Access the backlog. And in the backlog, the backlog is loading now. In the backlog, we can see there are multiple stories. There is Epic. There's Epic, implement the authentication of the application, and for a Epic there are 3 issues are available, right? So we will start creating test cases for each and every story, because every story has a set of subtasks. Let me open one story, EC3. Let me right click on the link, open a new tab. Then for a, you can see multiple subtasks are available, right? And also we completed one task for understanding. We completed this task, but there are multiple subtasks available for a story, and one of the subtasks is design test cases. One of the subtasks is design test cases, and also make sure we always need to associate the test cases to the story. We cannot associate the test cases to a subtask. The story name, the story number is EC3. Just keep in mind, the story number is EC3. This is what we need. Once we create a test case, we have to associate the test case to a story, not to a subtask. Let me try to click on create button here. So this story is about registered user login successfully with valid credentials, right? So this is a story about that. Let's try to create a test case now. Validate. Okay, we are able to get some summary. Validate the user is able to log in successful. Okay, and you can even categorize this as a component of registration. Okay, and scroll down, and you can say relates to this issue is, like as I mentioned, you have to select EC3, which is a story number. Then any fixed version, are they trying to complete this? Are they trying to complete this story as part of a particular release? Yes, select the release. And also you have any labels? Yes, you can put the label as module 1. And do you have the Epic link? Yes, there is an Epic which is available. Select the Epic here. The Epic is implement the authentication of the application, which is EC1. EC is for e-commerce project. And is this related to any sprint? Yes, we already created one sprint. Select the sprint one. So while creating a test case, it is mandatory to provide all the details. Then click on create button to create the test case now. Click on create. So once you create the test case, click on this link, this issue. I think it has gone. Anyway, not an issue. Let me try to do one thing. Let's go back to the backlog. You can find all the information in the backlog. Or you can even search EC21, we can search. Right? You can see here, validate the user is able to log in successful. Right? So let me click on EC21 here, the link. Click on it, right click, open in a new tab. Okay, open a new tab. So you can click on you can even provide a test details. Okay, let me try to configure this. You can even try to provide the test steps here. Say copy Zephyr test steps. Suppose for example, if you have some test steps, you can even copy them as well and paste it here. Okay, but anyway, let's go back. Let's try to add some test steps. So we will see, is there any option for us to create test steps here? Add attachment, create subtask, and here link issues, web pages. This is for Zephyr actions, and also test details. Yes, you have to click on test details. So why we need to provide test details? Because we have to provide the test steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, like that. So that's the reason we have to click on this link, click on this icon to generate the test step details. We have to add the information. Just click on it now. When you click on it, you will see the test details are coming up here. The test details are coming up here. Let me do one thing. Let me minimize them. Okay, you can see, if you want to get this test case and this test case contains the test steps, you have to click on the icon, the second one, which is test details, and provide the information. Test step, say launch the browser and enter the URL. Test data, you can mention http://demo.openmrs.org. test results. Go to test result, you can mark it as pass or fail accordingly. Then you can add one more step. And one more step you can mention here as enter the valid username and password. Test data. So you can mention username as admin and password as admin123. Similarly, you can add one more test here. User is logged in successfully. Okay, login. Test data is not required here. That's it. Once you do all these things, click on save here. I think it's not required. Just click here somewhere. That's it. Automatically will be saved. Okay, just delete that last step. Once you add, that's it. You just delete that. Okay, so you're done. So this is how you can keep on adding the steps in the case of test cases, because steps are very important. Okay, that's it. So let's try to click on the link again, open a new tab and see, are we getting these test steps getting updated automatically or not? Yeah, so all the test steps are getting updated. See here, and this test step, it is, we have to delete that. Clear values. Let's try to add something. But then we have to delete this. Okay, so this step is not getting deleted. Might be there is an issue here in the Jira. This plugin is not allowing us to delete this row, but it's okay. Leave it. Let's continue further. And if you focus here, this is mainly the Zephyr actions. When you click here, it's a Zephyr actions. What are the Zephyr actions we are having? We are having execute is one of the Zephyr action. We are having add to test cycle is one of the Zephyr action. And if you scroll up, you will see the test details. That is what we have seen. We added the test steps right now. Click on the test details. You can see the details here. And this in the details section, you will be having different types of view. Light view. Light view doesn't show all the fields, all the columns it doesn't show, right? But when you look into this detailed test detail selection here, you will see the attachments here. So you can even attach, suppose for example, if you want to attach a screenshot, you can click on this plus symbol and you can even attach a screenshot where you can add a file up to 10 MB here. So it's not only that we add the test steps, we can even associate the screenshots as well. Okay, so and also you can add the steps. You can see the columns. The column chooses, suppose you want to show only few columns. I don't want to show attachments. Just deselect this and update. You will not see attachments here. You just see test step, test data, test results only. And you can even delete the test step, and even you can clone it. So there are so many options available under test details section. Then after that, you will see here test executions. Click on it. You will see information about the test executions. So when you create a test case, it is important to view the test details, Zephyr actions, test cycles to get an idea about the test case. So we are done with the creation of test case now. And also this test case I'll assign to myself. I'm going to execute this test case. I'll assign to myself as well. Okay. Now let's get into once we create a test case, the next step is we have to create a test cycle. Then we have to add the tests to the test cycle. So let's try to create a test cycle now. So what we do is in the Zephyr actions, if you see the Zephyr actions, add to the test cycle, click on it. This test case we're adding to the test cycle. And here we are having a release 1. Release 1 is 3 months from now. Cycle, ad hoc cycle, but we need to create a cycle because this is not an ad hoc cycle. We will create a regression cycle 1 or regression cycle 2 or sprint testing 1. We can create cycles accordingly. So the cycle is not available here. We have to create a cycle first. Let's do one thing, cancel this. Then go back to the Zephyr again. Click on Zephyr option which is available here. And here when you scroll down, you will see here planning and execution, cycle summary, right? Click on cycle summary here to see what are all the cycles available. We will create our own cycle right now, which is part of the sprint cycle. Sprint 1 cycle will create. Then try to associate this test case as part of sprint 1 now, so that we can execute this right now. Okay, so we have a release 1 is available, and here let's try to create one new test cycle under release 1. So we will put the name as say sprint 1 test cases, executing the tests which are part of sprint 1. Okay, you can mention the QA environment. You can mention the date. Suppose for example you're planning to execute on 14th to 16th, 2 days we are trying to complete the execution. You can mention the build as V1. Click on save. Then the sprint 1 is getting created. This ad hoc release, by default it will come. This ad hoc cycle, you can delete this ad hoc cycle. You can add the test case or you can delete it, but we don't have the permissions to delete it. Let's select the sprint 1. The sprint 1, you can click on this is sprint 1. You can see all the information, the build information, the environment created by, total executions, cycle executions, every information you will find here. Here you can click on add tests here, and I will try to via search filter, select via search filter and just try to search for say login, or else you can just even say assign to myself, right? Assign to, say I'll mention the name, put all the test cases which are assigned. Okay, we can even click add. Select the filter, then filter information, it is showing as say login, but it's not showing. Let's go to individually now. Yeah, in the individually section we select we try to provide test as login. Just select that, then assign to total QA and just click on add. So this test case, please select a issued filter to proceed. Let me do one thing, cancel this. Let's do one thing. Click on add test cases. Just look out for login. Search, select it. Assign to total QA. Just click on add. That's sufficient. This test case will be added to the test cycle which is sprint 1. Right? Now click on close. Yeah. So this test case is not yet executed. Similarly, you can create multiple sprints. Suppose in the release 1, I am going to create one more cycle, which is sprint 2. Yes, we can do that. Create new cycle, say sprint 2. We can re-execute as well, right? The test cases as part of sprint 2. So execute the test equation. Build V1 environment, QA environment, and we can put the dates as, after that you can put some dates from 29 to, you can plan all the cycles when you want to execute save. Then you have the sprint 2 also getting created. In the sprint 2 again, you can add the test cases. What are all the test cases we have to associate? Just try to search. Just click on assign to the user, click on add. So the test case will be automatically assigned and will be part of the sprint 2. So this is how we can create multiple cycles and associate the test cases to the cycle. Then after that we have to execute these test cases, right? So click, you can see, you can do one more thing. Here you have a list view and a detailed view. Just select detailed view. So you get to know a lot of information about this. When you select detailed view, you can see here, you can see the test case details properly, right? The execution status, the defects, if you want to raise a defect. If you say list view, you will not get any information of the particular test case. So it's always important, go to the detailed view. In the detailed view, I'll mark this test case as fail. Let me select it as fail. Fail. I can mark it as blocked. There are different execution status here: pass, within progress, blocked, unexecuted. By default it is having unexecuted, but here if you look into this, we are going to select here fail as a test case. Whenever you say fail, we have to create a issue. Issue is nothing but a bug. Click on create new issue. Select the issue type as bug here and try to mention here user is not able to log in successfully with valid credentials. And you can attach the logs, you can attach the screenshots, you can attach the, mention the component. Suppose this is a component related to registration. Once you register, you are unable to log in successful. Mention the description, the test steps, fix version, so release 1, labels, you can mention this as a module 1. So you can put the environment as QA. It's important which environment we have tested this test case. Release 1 and relates to which story this defect relates to, or we can even assign to the test case also. Let's assign to the test case because this test case is failing because of this defect. So we can do one more thing. We can just say here login. We can associate to a test case, and you can even associate a epic link. You can associate a sprint, which sprint we tested this test case. Associate all the information. Click on create, because finally the test case is failed because of this defect. And also you can find all the information executed by, executed on, okay, change by the change history, the execution history, custom fields, test details. These are all the test details. You can even mark it as this one is pass, this one is fail, this one is fail, because the test steps also we have to mark it as fail. The entire execution status is failed. Why? Because if you scroll down and see, the test details are getting failed. So this is how you execute the test cases. Then you go to list view to see the information that this test case is getting failed and all the columns are getting updated. Right. So this is about the creation of the test cycle, adding the test cases to test cycle and execute the test cases, creation of the defect, associating the defect to the test case. If you see here, one more point which we have to observe here is, so if you see, this is the test case ID, this is the defect ID. There's a mapping, right? There's a mapping for the test case to the defect. So that information is available. And now let's try to proceed further and see what are the topics we have to complete after that. The next step, very important step, is we have to track the traceability. What is a traceability? It's a very important interview question. What is traceability? The traceability is mainly the relationship between requirements, the test cases, the test executions, the defects. So can we generate a traceability matrix report in the case of Jira? Yes, you can generate two different traceabilities, forward traceability, backward traceability. Let's start getting into this topic now. Let me go back here and I access Zephyr. In the Zephyr section, you can scroll down and see, you will find here traceability matrix. Click on traceability matrix. When I click on traceability matrix, okay, then it is loading now. Let me close other tabs. So now here, when you see the traceability matrix, you have to select the report type as forward traceability. Make sure we select forward traceability. When I say forward traceability, you can even have some filters here. The filters as, say, type, you can select the type as select story. Select story as the type. Just wait for a second now. You can see there is a traceability matrix, which is, see here, you can identify there is a story, there is a test case, there are two executions, and this test case is getting failed. So this is how you can identify the traceability matrix, but you have to select here the type as story. When you select the type as story, you get to know what is the requirement here. This is a requirement, and this is your test case, and these are the executions, and this is your defect. So all this information will be there in the case of traceability matrix to understand the coverage of these test cases from the requirements perspective. And also we have the report type as backward traceability. When you say backward traceability, here again, wait for a second, the list will be updated. Then in the type section, select bug. When you select the bug, it shows the defects, the executions, the test cases, the requirements. So you can check both are important. The backward traceability, the type as bug, so it starts from defects, then you have executions, then you have tests here, then you have requirements. So it's forward traceability and backward traceability. Both are important to understand the coverage of the test cases. So this is also completed. So requirements, tests, executions, defects. When I say backward traceability, defects, executions, tests, requirements. Now, adding a test case it's difficult in the case of Jira. But what we can do is we can import the test cases. We can import the test cases from an XLS or XLSX file in the case of Jira using a Zephyr plugin. What we can do is you can scroll down and see there is an option where we can even import and export the test cases. Mainly see here, you can click on import here. And you can even select the source file, but important point is we need to make sure that you have to follow some steps. It's not straightforward. We have to download the sample XLS and XLSX file, and it is possible that we can import that XLS and XLSX file, but we should follow some standard template which is part of this sample. You can download the sample and try to fill the test case accordingly. And next point, one more thing here. You can see a lot of options, right? Cycle summary. You can see cycle summary. You can see test executions. That is also displaying now, test executions. We can even export these executions as well. There's export button, you can export them as well. Yeah, you see here, right? Test executions, you can even export this as well into an Excel. Now next thing is test metrics. Under reporting section, you have a test summary, test metrics, traceability matrix. Traceability matrix is already covered. Let's look into test metrics now. So we can see when we have executed, if you see here, one test case we executed, okay, you can see the dates. There is an auto-generated test metrics for this project. If you want to create a customized metrics, display them in dashboard, click here. You can even change these reports. Customized reports you can create and see the test metrics accordingly. So it's not only we execute it, it generates reports, it generates traceability matrix, it helps you to generate a test metrics report as well. Okay, now integration, which is very important in the case of Zephyr. Mainly it's not only that we create a manual test cases, it's also important that we can even integrate test cases which are REST API, Cucumber, test automation. What is important for this entire thing is we need the API keys. So when you click on API keys, you can generate a new API key. This API key is useful to integrate BDD, Cucumber, REST API, Selenium, any automation tool you can integrate, but we should follow some steps. We generate the API key. This API key we have to use it to integrate the tools into this Zephyr plugin. So that scripts will be part of it, and we can even verify the scripts and validate from this Jira via Zephyr tool as well. So with this information, using Zephyr plugin, we can achieve a lot of functionalities of test execution, test cycle, and also raising defects, and you can even check the traceability. So it is important, we should definitely download Zephyr in real time so that we can monitor, manage, and execute the test cases. We can even generate reports after the execution of the test cases. Okay, so all these topics are covered. So if you practice all these things, it will be helpful for you to understand the real-time concepts. So if you like my video, please subscribe and share. I hope this video is really very helpful for you. Thanks for watching this.